Hi all. Okay, welcome back. We're going to go over the strategic planning project. I just wanted to create a separate video so that it's a quick reference for you, and we'll go over that real quick. So let's start with the syllabus and kind of see what we're going to be working on throughout the semester. So if you click on the syllabus and open that up, you'll see the strategic planning project and the worksheets work in conjunction with each other. And what I mean by that is you're going to be working on the worksheets throughout the semester. And these worksheets are going to help you build your overall strategic plan one piece at a time. So you should be taking the information you're putting on your worksheets and making sure you're working that into your final submission, which is your strategic planning project. We'll scroll down and go over the worksheets first. So we know that those are about 10% of your final grade, and they're going to, like I said, serve in assisting you to complete one section of your strategic plan at a time. Now, when you do turn in your strategic plan, you should be building and building off of what's on your worksheet. It shouldn't be a simple copy and paste and into your strategic plan and you're done, but you should be using the information you've gathered through your worksheets as kind of a base foundation for your strategic plan. So those 5 worksheets are going to focus on the different steps in the planning process regarding objectives, mission, vision, values, evaluation, things like that, and are going to be that critical component in your final project that you're going to turn in. Now, when we look at your strategic plan, that's going to be about 20% of your final grade. So you are going to be responsible for identifying and working with some type of health-related organization to develop a semi or a quasi-strategic plan or a semi-strategic plan that's specific to that organization. Now, I again want to reference you to the NTOP form criteria, which is listed under content, under the syllabus and supplemental information. And really what that NTOP form criteria is looking for is, are you working through trying to find credible sources for your information that you're presenting, and how are you presenting those? Is there some kind of information fluency and information transparency there? And just all about how you're going about trying to find information. And everything's explained in that criteria rubric, so I highly encourage you to look over it. Now, to assist you with the strategic plan, the posts that you make on discussion boards and the posts that your classmates make, as well as the text and the lectures that we're going to have, are going to provide a background for this project. But what I'm looking for is a more of a narrative report of your final project, working through your mission, vision, values, your environmental assessment, your SWOT analysis, which we'll go over later in the semester, as well as your objectives, goals, action plans, evaluation, and monitoring components for your strategic plan. Now, I have a detailed project overview listed on D2L site, so we'll go over that real quick. Let's go back to content. And we'll go down, let's look at the worksheets first. So I have all the worksheets listed, as well as within each worksheet I have examples listed out too. So if you get stuck or not really sure what to write about, you can reference some of the examples and see how they kind of work. This particular student worked through that process with each of the worksheets. So worksheet 1, you're going to have 3 submissions, and I think this is the only one that you will have 3 different submissions. So you should have a letter to your organization, which is a letter from me introducing what you'll be doing through the class to your organization. Now, I will need the organization name, contact name, address, telephone, and email if available. And then you can go through your planning process worksheet. So this will be 1B for your worksheets. We'll go back. It's taking a little while to load. And then 1C will be all about your mission, vision, and values. But worksheet 2, you only have 1 submission. You can see there's the example there. Worksheet 3 is going to concern your objectives. And I have listed tips for writing goals and objectives. And then there's your example. Same with 4. Same with 5. So when we go down and start looking through our strategic planning project. Now, like I said, each of the worksheets, as well as the discussion board postings, the lectures, and the texts, are going to help you build this final strategic plan. So we'll look first at the outline for the strategic plan. Let's scroll back up to the top, and we'll, sorry about that. Let's go back in, online section, and we'll look at what is going to be required as far as building your strategic plan for the semester. So again, each student is going to be required to identify and work with an organization to determine some type of need and develop that strategic plan specific to that organization. And my understanding of this is going to be that you made a very good faith effort at planning. And I'm going to expect that you've made extensive revisions to both your worksheets and your final paper, meaning that you probably should end up going through about 4 or 5 drafts of your final project before you submit it as your final submission. If you have any issues or questions about your strategic planning project, or need me to look over something, I don't mind to do that at all. You're free to set up an appointment time with me, and it doesn't have to be face-to-face. We can have an appointment over Skype or over the phone, and I'll be happy to go over and kind of look at your strategic plan, make sure you're going in the right direction. Now, what I've included here is just an example of some things you might include if you're looking at, let's say in this case, a primary care practice. So some things that I may expect to see in a strategic plan concerning a primary care practice, a little bit of background behind the practice itself, including its strengths and weaknesses, which will go into our SWOT analysis, which will come later in the semester. So maybe some demographic information, some different costs information if that's available to you. May look for external opportunities and threats, and then revenue sources by payer type. And what I've done here is I've laid out a suggested format for your strategic plan. You are free to write your strategic plan however you wish, but this is the suggested format that I put out for you to kind of follow to write your strategic plan. So you should have a title page, your table of contents, your executive summary, your introduction, then you can segue into your strategic intent, followed by your environmental analysis. Now, I don't expect everyone to have each one of these points in their plan, but at minimum, I would expect to see at least a SWOT analysis, more than likely some key quality indicators and critical factors and driving forces in your strategic plan. I know some of this other information may be a little hard to come by, but those are the 3 I would definitely expect to see in your strategic plan. Then you can move into strategic priorities, strategic goals and objectives, and I have that laid out here how you can think about it or write it in your plan. So you can have objective 1, what is your strategy for objective 1, what is your budget, so on, and then what is your evaluation for objective 1, and then move into objective 2 with the same kind of format. One thing you can follow here after you work on your objectives and action plans is a concluding summary, followed by your references and any appendices that you may want to include at the end of your paper. Now we'll look to more of the technical specifications for the final submission, and these are things that are going to show up on your rubric that I am going to be grading on. So you should have a cover page, table of contents, which is all listed in your outline, your executive summary and abstract. Any charts and graphs you have should be embedded, not in the body of the paper, rather at the end of the paper as an appendix or appendices if you have multiple ones. A reference page, and you can use a tool such as citationmachine.com, can help you in formatting to APA style, which is right down here, formatted to APA style. Your appendix. Now the paper does need to be a minimum of 7 pages, maximum of 10, and this is not including your cover page, executive summary, table of contents, reference page, or appendices. So I'm looking for 7 pages of actual content to the plan. Again, formatted to APA, professionally written. What I mean by that is don't write like you're talking to a friend or like you're carrying on a conversation with a friend, but write as if you are going to give this report to your CEO of your organization and that you would be proud to have your name on it. So make sure that you're cognizant of the way that of your writing style and the way that you're writing. It needs to be double spaced, Times New Roman 12-point font, and again meets that in-top form criteria. And for the in-top form criteria, you can go back to content and reference that under syllabus supplemental information in top form grading criteria. So we'll go back down, and I've included the in-top form as well under the plan documents that you are to submit. So what also I've done here is included a couple example plans from past students who've written strategic plans to kind of give you a couple different ways that it's been done, so it can help you kind of conceptualize what you're going to do as far as your strategic plan. So I've got 3 student examples as well as the College of Public Health strategic plan. You can see those again listed under individual components. Individual component examples, you can click on and look at example outline. You can see that here. You can go back to your example strategic issues, see that here. And then you can go back to your example SWOT analysis and hopefully see that here. So you can see I've tried to break down each kind of piece in your example or in your strategic plan, so you have a lot of good examples to kind of build off of. Now do make sure under the Dropbox that you have your topics submitted to me by January 29th at 11:59 p.m. and that you have your strategic plan submitted no later than April 28th at 11:59 p.m. So if you have any questions, I encourage you guys to come to me, ask questions, or bring me concerns you have about the strategic plan. Stay on top of your worksheets. Like I said, that's going to help you build your final plan for the end of the semester. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns, I'll build an additional discussion board here for you to post just regarding your strategic plan and any issues that you might have with that. As always, guys, contact me anytime you have any questions, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.